welcome back to the Eillets Podcast. I am so thrilled to be back and I welcome you on my little corner of the internet. I'm Saskia, a 36-year-old knitter from North German speaking part of Switzerland, and I'm doing this since a year only, so not that long. This is the first video after 3 to 4 weeks of a break. I took a summer break, so I feel a bit unsure. I feel like I'm doing it for the first time. I have not that much knitting. My motor is not fully back. I enjoyed the break and the digital detox. No YouTube, no podcasts, no Instagram, no Facebook, no whatsoever. It was very nice for 2 weeks. And I'm slowly getting back and watching and getting up to date with all the podcasts I missed. But I knitted a bit, nothing, but not too much. It's just a lot going on at the moment because we will be moving in 2 months' time to our forever home, hopefully, near the border, in France. And there's a lot of administrative work we have to do. And 2 months is not that far away. So this is the first reason why I didn't have enough time or mind space to do much knitting. And the second one is, maybe if you know earlier videos of me, you see here, earlier was something else. There was a big terrarium in the back, which I used to hang up with a big blanket because, I had a pet snake, and I had originally 3 pet snakes. And this was the last one living, and she was 21, 22 years old. And I had to let her go at the beginning of my holidays. I had to bring her to the vet, and we decided to send her over the Rainbow Bridge, and she's there now after 22 years being with me. And it was not an easy decision to make, but it was the right one. So I had to put away all the stuff. I couldn't stand looking at that empty terrarium, so it's all gone now. And put this picture there, just that it's not a big empty hole there. It doesn't make sense to move any of the furniture because we are going away anyways in 2 months' time, and I started packing. So behind that blanket here, can I point? This one, are some cartons which I already packed. I already packed my whole wool stash. I left some things out, so I still have stuff to knit, of course, but I packed it. It's a lot more than I thought it was. They will get a totally new place in the new house, and it's a lot going on. So this was the sad news. My snake, unfortunately, on the reel, she's no longer with us, but she's for sure doing better now. Let's start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing a self-drafted t-shirt. I drafted it roughly after the Flax light with the numbers, but I took another number, a different number to cast on. I took more stitches. I think I just made a number up. I looked at how much they took to cast on, and I kind of added just 20 stitches or something. I was like, let's go for it. I did a normal raglan, but with a nice raglan line. This little winding pattern I took from a book, the Vogue knitting pattern books it is. This one is from a very old book, this pattern. It's a lace pattern, and it's from a very, very old knitting book. It has a lot of patterns in it, and I love that I took it. It's a book in German, Stricken, and I told you all the books and everything in another video of mine, so I will not link those books again. But this pattern is from here, and I made it once in the center front, and I made it 3 times on the sleeve. So it's 3 times this kind of square pattern. And yeah, I like how it looked. It's slightly cropped, I would say. So here's my belly button just above the ribbing, and this is the ribbing, so it's slightly cropped. I like to wear this on skirts which go up to here, or over skirts which are a bit lower, because it's a nice point where it ends. I also took this little raglan ribbing detail for the actual ribbing. On the top here I did I-cord bind-offs on the sleeves, and I added an afterthought I-cord neckline to the neckline. Did that make sense? I don't think so, but we're going on. So this is knitted with the soft bamboo finger weight wool from Hobby. It's really nice to wear. It's a bit hard to weave in ends. I mean, you can see small irregularities where I had to weave in ends. It's difficult to weave in the ends, but I think I didn't do too bad of a job. And I really like wearing this, especially it's a little bit cooler, and it's so easy to just throw on, and it looks just nice. I love it. So I like wearing this, and I really can recommend the wool. I knitted this up last year, and it held up nicely. And I'm just chucking this into the washing machine with 30 degrees and let it dry, because in summer I want stuff I really can wash. So yeah, love this one, and will keep on wearing it, but I might choose it. Let's go to finished objects. I only have a half finished object, and that means it's a sock. Ta-da! It's a summer sock with a wool I ordered. Here was one of the first wools I've ordered from Boutinette online shop. It's a viscose polyamide cotton sock blend. It had these travel destinations as a name, but I'm not sure which one it is, and of course I don't have the ball band anymore. It's a rest. I knitted already up a pair of socks with this wool, and 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, and you can see that they were part of my first socks. So the cuff is too tight and they don't fit perfectly, but I love them. I love wearing them for the bed, for sleeping. When I started to think what I could do as a little project, I thought, why not? These won't hold up any much longer, so I make myself new ones for the end of summer. And it's this one. And it's my vanilla sock recipe, toe up, as always. I start with 14 stitches right here at the center of the toe, then do one back row, one right side row, and then I pick up the stitches from the beginning, and then I start to go into the rounds, sorry. And then I increase to 52 stitches, knit a little bit until it's I think my foot starts, and then I increase another 4 stitches onto 56 stitches on 2.75mm needles. And this is, I found, for me, the best way to knit socks. It's dense, it's nice and tight, but it's not 2.5mm needles, which I did once, and I hated knitting with 2.5mm needles. I just use them for cuffs usually, which I didn't do here. I just knit it with the same needles. I knit 17.5 centimeters from the toe, the very tip, until I do my shadow wrap short row heel, which looks like this. And then I knit up as long as I think is good, and here I added a garter stitch rip, just 6 rounds of garter stitch, and that's it, basically. Nothing much more to it. It fits nicely though. Ta-ta! The heel sits really nicely where it should sit. I have managed not to knit any holes in it. And the toes are nice. So I just like how this sits. It's not too tight, it's rather loose actually, the cuff. But for bed socks, I don't like them to be too tight. So that's fine. And normally in my normal vanilla socks, I started doing a folded rip because I think that is perfect fit for me. It's not too tight, but you can kind of tighten it up just enough and it keeps the flexibility. So I really like that. But for bed socks, I didn't want to bother with a folded cuff. So I just did this garter stitch cuff for the first time to see if I like it. If it grows too much, maybe I will see. Maybe I get annoyed by it and I will go back to a normal 1x1 or 2x2 rip, but well, we'll see. I already started the second sock. I always knit those on 3 needles and I knit with the 4th. I have normally the front stitches all on 1 needle and I have the back stitches separated on 2 needles. And for the heel, I will quickly change that around so the front is separated and the back is on 1 needle. It's just easier, I think. And then I go back around. So it's a self-striping yarn. I have to do nothing but knit. And I like the pattern it makes. So it's nice. I like it. Looking forward to having these socks. My works in progress, I only have 2 at the moment. Well, 2.5 if you count the sock. This is my Foliosa scarf, which I started in April. And I'm a bit stuck. I tell you why. First of all, the wool. I have to look it up in Ravelry. So this is the Bilum hand-dyed yarn, Murok. It's in the color Amethyst and it's a fade. So the darkest part is already gone. And you see in the center it gets really, really nice. And I hold it, it's a lace weight yarn, and I hold it together with another lace weight yarn by Forever Taiga yarn, lace yarn. And she dyed this up for me, and if you take the centers, they go together really nice. I'm a bit stuck at the same time, I tell you why. It looks nice so far. It's a nice variegation, I love it, because the pattern is quite simple. You just have twisted rip, and you have these flower parts here, which of course you will see better when it's stretched out. I like the pattern, I like the variegation, it's something different. I don't have that yet. I have some like simple colored shawls or striped, but 1 color only at the time, and I like this. I wanted to try it. And it should get less and less variegated. You might see it, that at the top here it's a bit darker and it gets a bit more softer, the variegation down here. Now this is the second time I do this flower pattern. And there the first thing is, you see one is here and then they are kind of in the middle, and this next one will go to the middle of these 2. The pattern doesn't line up quite perfectly, I think, because I have the same amount of stitches and I need to change. Like the first one at the beginning is fine, but the second one would be kind of, let me turn it around, do you see something? The first one is fine, and the second one would always be like here or too close to this one. It's not in the middle. So I always have, for the first and the last one, I have to kind of figure out where to put them. Then of course the system works because it's always the same. And at the end I just have less or more stitches at the end or the beginning, depending on which side you're starting at. So this is a bit, yeah, it's a bit annoying, but it's fine. I can manage, it's not too hard. And I like the pattern, I really do. It's very clearly written, and it's not hundreds of pages. It's like she says, go back and do one more time this part, and it's like 3 or 4 pages. It's really nice. Now, what is keeping me off? I think after this one, there is only one more time coming the twisted rib, and then there's the border. Let me see if you can see that. This nice leafy border. This one. And it's knitted sideways. And I want this to be actually very close in color. So I want it to be either just this or together with the center here. Now if I look how much yarn I have left, and this should be 100 meters too short. If I take care of calculation. So I'm not sure. I will do the floral pattern and the twisted rib, and then I'll see how much I have left. But I'm not sure if I should stop then and just kind of take the center part. And I don't think this is enough kind of to do the whole board, like flower pattern. So I am thinking if I should just take like 2 strings from the middle and outside of this one and do the pattern underneath, but it would be if it's like this, it's kind of a big difference. You know what I mean? It's like very variegated and very dark, and then it's suddenly very bright and solid. I'm not sure if I like that. If I go on just with this, it looks almost the same like this one, and you can't really see it. So I was hoping I kind of would use almost all of this and have a little bit, well, just enough left. It was a bit of a guessing game, I have to admit, but I realized just now that it's not really working up as I wanted it to. So, yeah, not sure how to do the finish here, to be honest, because it's in the other direction, and if it fades, then it kind of looks strange, because at one end of the shawl it's maybe darker and at the other one it's light. Didn't think this through totally, to be honest. And I'm not sure what I should do, so I kind of stall getting there, which is stupid, because when I go there I will maybe find a solution. It's hard because the cord actually is too small. It's really crumbled up on here. So I can't see how big this shawl is, but it's not that big yet. So do I just add another part of this twisted stitch and the flower pattern, and maybe find another lace bind off I like, and just skip this beautiful part, which would be a shame, to be honest. But I could take another yarn and kind of knit it again with the same yarn, which is not faded and not variegated that much, so you can see the actual pattern a bit better. So I have more than one option here, and I'm not sure where to go with this. So if you have an idea what you think would be best, please write it down underneath. What do you think, which option would be best or nicest? So yeah, help me out here, please, with the Foliosa scarf. Otherwise, I like the pattern, and it will be a nice summer scarf. Shawl, scarf, whatever. I hope it will be a shawl. I want it big. I don't need a scarf in summer, I need a shawl. So, and then my second whip, which is the one I'm currently knitting on, but I'm a bit stuck not on sleeve island, but on body island, stockinette body island. But first, let me show you the yarn. This was my birthday gift to myself. By the end of June, my birthday is on 23rd of June, and 22nd, it was a Sunday, and 22nd I went to my little knitting club, which is organized by a hand dyer, a regional hand dyer, and every second Saturday morning from 11 to 3, you can go and knit there in a little group, and it's really nice always. I like going there. And of course, you sit in that shop with all that wonderfully hand-dyed yarns, and I was sure I would give myself a little birthday treat. So I chose this wool. It's a Forever Taiga Yarns Merino Silk High Twist, 80% merino, 20% silk, 400 meters on 100 gram, fingering weight, 29 francs it cost, which is absolute good price for Switzerland for hand-dyed wool, and we always get a little tiny discount, which is very nice. So let me see if I can show you yeah, that's better. Forever Taiga Yarns, she's a big cat lover, and I just love this. Look at the little speckles, the variegation. It's just wonderful. When it's caked up, I bought 3 skeins. Thank you. Too long, it's too long I made a knitting podcast. When it's caked up, it looks like this. That's the more true to color. It's really lovely purple, but a warm one. I love it. And when it's knitted up, let me see, I have to flip it. You'll know why in a second. Something's hanging here. That's the cord sticking out. Isn't that lovely? It's so nice. I love the color. I love how it's knitted up. I didn't alternate skeins. I am almost finished with the first one. That's the rest I have. And then I'll bring in the second one, and I think I might not even need the third one. So I will have one left, and yeah, we'll see what I'll do with that. I love it. It's the Sorrel Summer Tea by Pine, Wool and Pine. Now I have it, sorry. Let me just... It's a bit of a mess because you knit it inside out. You knit it normal, starting from here until you split for sleeves. And then you kind of turn it inside out and you knit it right side. So you don't have to knit all purl stitches. You can actually knit just stockinette. That's how it's looking at stockinette. It's lovely. I love the little pink speckles. Sorry for that, that was the needle. I love the little pink speckles. Come on now. Don't be such a mess. Like, put the needles in, they don't click. That's the front. Oh, I love it. It's a lovely color. I love wearing this. It's the perfect purple. And the pattern is really fun to knit. I really liked knitting this pattern at the top. I just changed, played around a bit with the numbers. When I looked through Ravelry, there are a lot of projects to this. And a lot of them I thought were quite tight as a neck for the neckline. And as you already know, I don't like having a tight neckline in summer. You can kind of see it in the picture of the pattern here. It's a lot higher up. And here also, it's a bit lower, but not that much. And I don't... It is nice, but I wanted it to be more like this. So I took the numbers of the second size. I'm actually making size 1. But I took the numbers of the second size for the neckline. They start with a flexible kind of cast on, and I read in project that it kind of stretches out. So I took a normal cast on and just started. And I thought about maybe if it doesn't look nice, but I think it does. If it doesn't look nice, I can always add a small tiny I-cord edge, which you will not see. and it's the perfect size. I also added in some more short rows. They do short rows at the beginning, at the back here, and I did those exactly like they told me to. But when I finished the pattern, I added another round of 4 short rows, I think, so 8 times back and forth. And I used these short rows to kind of turn it inside out. So I just started like at the point and I just turned it and went back, and then I stayed on the wrong side of the shirt and just went back in there, and then I just closed it in the other direction. So I just did short rows and turned it like that, and then I separated the sleeve quite normally, took their numbers. I did not increase as much because you have very fixed increases, and at the very end, between those longer parts, I didn't increase as many stitches. I calculated, like, I knew if I do size 2, I get to X amount of stitches, but I want to go to size 1, which is only Y amount of set amount of stitches, whatever. I calculated how much stitches I need to increase, and I kind of distributed them around. And it came around that I increased only every second pattern repeat, and the other one just stayed, and you can't see it at all. It's like it looks perfectly evenly distributed. It was a perfect thing, and it's good I took size 1 because I don't like it to be like too flowy and oversized. So I just want a nice little bit of ease, so it's not tight, but I like it to be like more or less figure hugging. I will see how it goes now. I'm almost at my waist now, and I normally have to decrease some stitches for the waist because I have a very small waist, and it kind of all of it goes. If I go straight, it just looks like this, like an A-line. So I might need to decrease 4 stitches or so and just go on with it. And yeah, I like how it looks. My short row turns, but they haven't turned out too nice, and I can't see why. Maybe it's because you see the left side. Oh. Yeah, because on the right side they are nice. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, look. Here are my short rows turned, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4. But on the inside, which will be the outside, can you see it doesn't look that perfect? Is it on both sides? Or is it on this side, on the right side? Not so nice. Yeah, mistake here, but no, it's better on this side. Why? Why is it that on one side they look then not as neat as on the other side? Well, it's underneath my armpit, so I don't mind. But it's an interesting question. If anyone knows, why don't German short rows look not the same on both sides? That's an interesting problem to think about, but not now. So I'm in the midst of the body, and it is fingering weight and 3.75 millimeter needles. It takes a while, and I have a bit of a trouble motivating me to knit on it. At the same time, I like having it because the shawl, for example, is I can't motivate because I have to think so much, and here I can't motivate myself because I have to think nothing. That's why I loved knitting the sock yesterday, because it was the right amount of not thinking and thinking with the heel and then the GAN stuck in it. Yeah. I don't know, my brain is a bit strange at the moment. But well, it will change back. And I keep on knitting anyways. I try to knit on it as much. Every time I knit, I try to knit at least 3 to 5 rounds. So I get somewhere, And because I really want to wear this, like in autumn with this purple. Oh, can you see it? I love it. And this is still the inside out. This is the right side with the pattern. I love it. It looks really nice. I'm not doing a fade or anything. I just, when this yarn will be finished after the next round, I will just start with the new one. And I trust Simone, the dyer of Forever Taiga yarns, that it will look nice. And they are very similar. And if I don't need this one, I'll have it as a backup. Could be a nice little hat. What is it called? Oh, what's the hat called? I'm knitting with another hand-dyed yarn at the moment. Musselburgh. Musselburgh hat. Could be a Musselburgh hat. Could be something else. Yeah, that's it, basically. Sorrel tee, summer sorrel. A woolen pine with the wool, the hand-dyed fingering weight merino silk from Forever Taiga yarns. Love it. And this could be a pattern I do a second time, or for someone else, because it's so much fun. And yeah, you could do a fade. Totally. I also like it in the green option. And it's a pattern that really sticks out well with the hand-dyed. And I love that it's like the left side showing. It looks really different. Like it kind of tones down the variegations. It would be very highly variegated, this one, on stockinette stitch. But with the purl stitch, it would be, it's just kind of variegated, but nice. I like it. So 35 minutes, that was basically it for this podcast episode. I have not more to show. I have no plans, no acquisitions so far, except for the one I just showed you. Yeah. I want to start knitting a bit more socks. I kind of finding I'm longing to knit socks. And I want to try another Magic Toadstool sock by Stone Knits, because I have one and they were my first colorwork socks and they are not that nice. They are perfect for stable shoes and, you know, I don't fuss about them. But they are in a wool I don't like particularly on my naked feet. I can only wear them over normal sweater kind of socks. And I want another pair with nice wool, so I can wear them on my like nice shoes. And I want maybe another pair of acorn socks because I really love those. I loved wearing them. But I would do a short row heel instead of the heel flip gusset thingy she does, which I hated doing. I don't know why people choose to knit this part of this kind of heel for their own free will, out of their own free will. It's the shadow wrap short row heel is so much quicker, faster, easier, and I think looks nicer too. So yeah, but that's my opinion. If you're happy with your heel flip and gusset, whatever it's called, go for it. So I intend to do some socks because A, it's small, I can easily take it with me, and I would have the shawl as a big project when I decide what to do with it. And I don't necessarily want to start a big project before moving. Maybe if it overcomes me, like I want to start this sweater or something, the next thing would be another tulip by Ririko with a lovely dark red wool I have from Justyna Lorkowska, which I bought at the Swiss Yarn Festival. And that would also be a very nice autumn garment in this deep burgundy red. Like, it's a fantastic color. And I really love the tulip, and I want a second one, which is a bit longer, which has the normal finish, not the lace finish necessarily, and the My sleeves are now up to here, but maybe I will do 3/4 sleeves or long sleeves, depends on how much yarn I have. So yeah, we'll see. I love that one. I really love wearing it, and I want a second one. Yeah, and then the next thing for autumn, or the first autumn pattern, would be the leather vest by the Creabea. And I think I would like to start that, but not in the midst of moving, painting. I think September I will not have a lot of time to knit, because the evenings I will be at the house painting, and then I will be dead tired, go back home and fall to sleep immediately. Yeah, I don't think I will have much time for knitting. I can't talk today. I want to try to keep up the podcasts now coming. I once told at the beginning once a month. I somehow fell into the rhythm of twice a month. So I'm not sure. I will not fix myself on something now, because it's the wrong time to make more pressure on myself, to put on more pressure on myself. I will just see how it goes and how I can manage. So maybe it's once a month, maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's once for 2 weeks or something, if I have to tell you something. Yeah. I might give you a tour to the empty house before we paint. Yeah, just that you know where we're moving to, and to share my joy about our house. That's it. Leave a comment about the Foliosa shawl, please. What should I do? for which option should I go? And subscribe to my channel if you want to. I would be very happy if you did. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.